Hey Al, thanks for this nice Christmas gift, this little present. I actually enjoy doing these problems, especially as little as I do them. I'm still tutoring kids, and I still use this software called Explain Everything to explain stuff like your little problem here. You may have seen this in a textbook. I don't know where you got this. This is this is a 10th grade geometry problem, and I've taught versions of this forever. So let's see. Your version, you got a circle, you inscribe a square. So if you call that this little diagonal, half of a diagonal in the square R, that creates a equilateral triangle. Okay, so 45 degrees on both of these, 90 here. So then if you just go to the Pythagorean theorem, you got x and the hypotenuse R, and x squared plus x squared is 2x squared divided through by 2. Take the square root, just a positive principal square root, and square root of r squared is r, so you get root 2 on the bottom. You can multiply top and bottom by root 2 if you want. R times root 2 is root 2, root 2 times root 2 is just 2, so you end up with this, r root 2 over 2. And there's my illustration of this little segment right here. It's part of the dimension of the square, but if you've got this piece plus this piece, you've got two of them, so 2 times r root 2 is just 2 times r root 2 divided by 2 twice takes out the divide by 2, so you have r root 2 by r root 2. That's your square. Area of a square is just multiply the two sides together, or square them, you get 2r squared. You square r, you get r squared. You square root 2, you get 2. So then you, for your little shaded area, you take the whole area, pi r squared, subtract the square, and you'll end up with the shaded area as my illustration shows. So then the full circle, subtract the square divided by the full circle, and the r squareds cancel. So you have pi minus 2 over pi. Pi is about 3.14159. Take away 2, you get 1.14159. Divided by pi is about 36.338%. So there's your answer. And let's see, I did GeoGebra Classic 5. This is an old software program I taught my students forever. It's freeware. And I just threw on a quick circle and inscribed a square. And the circle is random, so it's a random radius of whatever square root of 8.48. It doesn't matter. And sure enough, I worked this all out. You can check all this if you want to try to ponder all that good stuff in there. Anyway, you end up with the same 36.33802%, about 36%. And also there's the answer to your question. Thank you. I love this. Just a little variety between sitting around and talking too much with friends and family here.